las hojas que bailan cuando atraviesa el jardín el viento en monopatín. Cuando voy a dormir, cierro los ojos y sueño con el olor de un país florecido para mí. Yo no soy un bailarín porque me gusta quedarme quieto en la tierra y sentir que mis pies tienen raíz. Una vez estudié en un librito de Yuyo cosas que solo yo sé y que nunca olvidaré. Aprendí que una nuez es arrugada y viejita, pero que puede ofrecer mucha, mucha, mucha miel. Del jardín soy duende fiel, cuando una flor está triste, la pinto con un pincel y le toco el cascabel. Soy guardián y doctor de una pandilla de flores que juegan al dominó y después les da la tos. Por aquí anda Dios con regadera de lluvia o disfrazado de sol, asomando a su balcón. Yo no soy un gran señor, pero en mi cielo de tierra cuido el tesoro mejor, mucho, mucho, mucho amor.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, I will give some recommendations and housekeeping points for this first moment. I asked you to register yourself in the chat. Please write your country and your name. Members of the EXCO, please register too. Representatives. I would like to remind you that you can select the language you prefer to listen by clicking on the world icon in the Zoom bar below. Pueden elegir, voy a decirlo en español, el idioma para escuchar en el icono del mundo en la barra inferior de Zoom. You can choose the Spanish channel or the French channel, and in this main room, you will always listen in English. There will be some exceptions, and then you can change to the English channel if you want to listen in English. I remind you also that the Zoom platform is for presidents or delegates. Observers must watch through YouTube on our channel OMEP World TV. I will share my screen. Today, we will have this extraordinary session. It will last approximately 90 minutes. The waiting room is open, so for the people that are joining in, I remind you, you can select the language you want to listen in the world icon in the Zoom bar below. And I ask you to register in the chat, writing your country and then your name. To assure the good development of the session, the microphones will be muted. But you can still participate by raising your hand and, of course, by writing your comments, doubts, or if you have any inconvenience in the chat. The chat will be permanently enabled. Today, we will only vote for the approval of the special procedures for the Virtual World Assembly 2023. Only presidents of the national committees or the representatives can vote. It's only one vote per committee. And preparatory committees do not vote. As a warm-up, we want to do a playful activity. While we wait for more people to join, we ask everyone present to write down their favorite song in the chat. So you must write 3 things in the chat. You must write your country, your name, and your favorite song. That is something we create as a play because we want to create our own playlist, an OMEP playlist in Spotify. Do you know Spotify? Do you use it? We ask everyone present to write down in the chat your favorite song in any language. We celebrate that they are songs in different languages. And then we will be able to put together the playlist, to share it, and to enjoy it at the World Assembly. For the people
Hello,
that are...
everybody.
Hello.
What a nice initiative, Camila and Mercedes. I have to think a lot.
I think you have the whole session. You can write
Okay.
the songs
Okay.
whenever you want, in the language you want, and we will create the playlist and share it with all of you.
Nice, nice idea.
Well, for the people that are joining in, I must tell you once again that you can select the language you prefer by clicking on the word icon in the Zoom bar below. And the last recommendation before we do the opening with Mercedes is that everyone write their country and their name in the chat. Thank you very much for being here, for your time. And now it's time for Mercedes to do the opening. Mercedes Machol-Lasage, or my poor president, you have the floor.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Camila. Buenos días. Bonjour. Good afternoon for many of you. To all the presidents or delegates of the national committees, to the OMEP representatives in the United Nations and in UNESCO, and to the members of the World Executive Committee. I am very happy to meet you again. So many colleagues whom I deeply admire and appreciate, and with whom we share the OMEPian dream of working to build a better world for all the children. Today, we have several tasks ahead. The first one is to build the path that will lead us to the realization of the 2023 World Assembly. As you all know, according to the OMEP Constitution, we have convened a World Assembly for Saturday, July 29, that will be held virtually this year. Since the World Assembly usually deals with an agenda with many OMEP organizational topics, and we want that the process to be very participatory, it is required that we complete some previous stages. This extraordinary session is the starting point, which has complemented to the holding of regional meetings. But this year, so far, we could only hold the European Regional Assembly, which was organized by OMEP Cyprus in the beautiful city of Limassol. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Maria and her team once again for the hospitality, the warmth, and the professionalism with which all the activities of the assembly, the dinners, all the activities really of the assembly at the European Conference were carried out. I also look forward for the next Latin American Regional Assembly that will take place in just 1 month in Bogota. And then we have, of course, the Asia Pacific Regional Assembly and Conference in December. So I am really amazed with all these activities we are planning together. I hope that this extraordinary session will allow us to discuss topics such as our strategic plan, OMEP budget, the candidate for the Vice President of North America and the Caribbean, honorary members, the new preparatory committees or the change of status to national committee, as well as other themes and ideas for the annual OMEP annual declaration, among others. Well, the first task we will doing today is presenting briefly the special procedures for the Virtual World Assembly that we share with all of you in advance in order to approve them in a voting session. And then we will really these procedures are not a surprise because we have applied them in 2020 and 2021. The second task today will be knowing more about our strategic plan, the 2023-2025 strategic plan. It consists of sharing information and criteria to build new working groups that made it possible to advance our flagship initiative, our work projects, and with at least 1 or 2 representatives per region trying to build these working groups, we need to advance and to push these flagship strategies. And other presentations will be carried out through videos and such as the OMEP's representatives teams for 2023, the communication report of the past year, the balance, and the budget that we have been planning with soon. Then we will have some time to work in breakout groups divided by languages in order to share our opinions. And finally, the closing of the session. Every room will designate a speaker to make a brief summary of the discussion to be held and presented in the closing session. Thank you again for being present, and good job for all of us in this beautiful Saturday. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Mercedes. Well, the second point of the agenda is the roll call. Before I present the agenda, I will say how many countries, which countries are accompanying us. I don't have the whole list, but I can read some of the countries and then I will do it later again. There are Hong Kong, China, Sweden, Sierra Leone, New Zealand, United States, Greece, Croatia, Norway, Australia, Russia, Chile, Canada, United Kingdom, Poland, Argentina, Paraguay, Japan, Thailand, France, Poland, Italy, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Ghana, Uruguay, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Turkey, Slovakia, China. Well, till now I have a list of 35 countries accompanying us. Well, the third point of our agenda, as Mercedes told us, is the adoption of the agenda. I want to ask you, are you listening everything okay? Because I heard some noise here, but I think it's my device. Okay. Well, I will present the agenda of this meeting. The session will last approximately 90 minutes. First, I will present the special procedures for the Virtual World Assembly 2023, and you will vote for their approval. Then there will be a short presentation of the different topics that will be voted in the World Assembly. These topics are the strategic plan, the representatives team 2023, the World Treasurer's report and budget, the declaration. We will also present a brief communication report 2022. The presentation will be done through short videos that we will all together watch. The videos will also be interpreted in the different languages, so you can hear them in the channel you choose. Then there will be time for discussion. This is something we will not have time for at the World Assembly because of our busy agenda and the different timetables and the voting process. This discussion also extends to regional assemblies, some of which have already been held and others to come through the year. Well, as for the special procedures, you have the document and is shared in the Drive folder, but I am going to present the special procedure briefly. Due to the limitation of the virtual platform, it has been decided to address only essential topics that will be discussed in this extraordinary session. As it is today, only presidents or representatives will be able to participate through the Zoom platform. Observers can participate through YouTube or OMEP World TV, our channel. The documents that support the voting process are shared in a Drive folder and are as follows: the minutes of Athens 2022, the balance 2022, the budget 2023, the presentation of preparatory committees to change the status to national committees and new preparatory committees, the election of the vice president for the North American and Caribbean region, the presentation of new honorary members, the presentation of hosting committees for 2025 World Assembly and Conference, and the strategic plan. The voting in the World Assembly will be done through the Zoom platform. And in addition to the voting, the annual report 2022 will be presented. The world president will present her activities, and each regional vice president will summarize what was reported for the region. These are the special procedures that we share.
Yeah.
Sorry. And now we will have to vote for their approval. So I will stop sharing the screen. And first, we will do a test. I will share with you the test. Can you see on your screens the test? No, now.
Oh,
We'll
no.
start it.
Oh, yes.
Now? Okay. This is only a test. You should be seeing the test question and 3 voting options on your screen. You can select one and submit. If you are on a cell phone, you may not see the voting box, so you must scroll your screen until you find the box and vote. And now when we finish the votation, there are 10 seconds, and then I can finish it and share the results. Can you see the results? Yes, okay. Well, then this is very simple how we will vote. Now we can vote for the approval of the special procedures for the Virtual World Assembly 2023. Remember that only presidents or the delegates can vote. It's only one vote per committee. So the special procedures are here. And the question is, do you approve the special procedures? Now we have 100% of the answers. So I will finish the ballot and share the results. You can see we have 100% for yes, 38 people.
Yes, we see.
Thank you. Well, we have done our quotation then, and we can start with the presentation. The first presentation is about the strategic plan. So I will share with you a very short video about it. We can watch it all together, then we will have time for the discussion. All right.
Dear friends, as Antoine Saint-Exupéry said, a goal without a plan is just a wish.
The results.
I have the pleasure
You
to
can
present
see
the
we have
strategic plan of OMEP
100%
for
for
January
yes,
2023 to
38 people.
December
Yes, we see.
2025.
Thank you.
Our past strategic plan allows us to establish clear guidelines for effective
we have
action.
done
3 years
our
have passed, and
presentation
during
then,
our
and
last
we
World
can start with
Assembly,
the
we
presentation.
evaluated it, and your contributions were fundamental to the continuity and
plan.
development
So
of
I
initiative for
will
next years.
share with you
This
very
strategic
short
plan
video about it.
2023-2025
We can
aims
watch
to
it all
deepen the
together,
work
then we
and
will
to
have time
fulfill
for the
our
discussion.
slogan, right from the start, early childhood education and care for all. What are the pillars of the strategic plan? First pillar is the OMEP Constitution. The second pillar is the Convention on the Rights of the Child. And the third pillar are the Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030. Since its adoption, OMEP has been committed to its achievements, understanding that we need to orient all efforts for the realization of SDG 4 and all other SDGs, ending poverty and hunger, guaranteeing well-being and healthy lifestyles, reaching gender equality, reducing inequalities, and building fairer and more inclusive societies. In the past 3 years, we worked to achieve this agenda, but the pandemic and several crises have shown that it will be difficult to accomplish the goals without the strongest efforts. Early childhood education and care for all. For that reason, several global processes were designed to move forward and reach the Sustainable Development Goals. Connected with ECCE, the Global Partnership Strategy was developed in dialogue with ministers of education, agencies associated with UNESCO, specialists, and civil society organizations. OMEP played an active role in the process of defining the final documents and commitments. Another significant milestone was the World Conference on Early Childhood Care and Education 2022, which defined commitments and political action to transform ECC. In the past 3 years, we worked to achieve in the Strategic Plan 2023-2025, we took the guiding principles and strategies without the strongest effort.
I know we have some issue with the audio, so I will stop sharing so we can solve it. because I know we can hear different audios and you cannot see the videos. 1 minute, please. I'm sorry for that, and we will share the video again.
Dear friends, as Antoine Saint-Exupéry said, a goal without a plan is just a wish. I have the pleasure to present the strategic plan of OMEP for January 2023 to December 2025. Our past strategic plan allowed us to establish clear guidelines for effective action. 3 years have passed, and during our last World Assembly, we evaluated it, and your contributions were fundamental to the continuity and development of initiative for next years. This strategic plan 2023-2025 aims to deepen the work and to fulfill our slogan, Rights from the Start, Early Childhood Education and Care for All. What are the pillars of the strategic plan? First pillar is the OMEP Constitution. The second pillar is the Convention on the Rights of the Child. And the third pillar are the Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030. Since its adoption, OMEP has been committed to its achievements, understanding that we need to orient all efforts for the realization of SDG 4 and all other SDGs, ending poverty and hunger, guaranteeing well-being and healthy lifestyles, reaching gender equality, reducing inequalities, and building fairer and more inclusive societies. In the past 3 years, we worked to achieve this agenda, but the pandemic and several crises had shown that it will be difficult to accomplish the goal without the strongest efforts. For that reason, several global processes were designed to move forward and reach the Sustainable Development Goals. Connected with ECCE, the Global Partnership Strategy was developed in dialogue with ministers of education, agencies associated with UNESCO, specialists, and civil society organizations. OMEP played an active role in the process of defining the final documents and commitments. Another significant milestone was the World Conference on Early Childhood Care and Education 2022, which defined commitments and political action to transform ECCE. In the Strategic Plan 2023-2025, we took the guiding principles and strategies for the development of the transformative ECCE established in the Tashkent Declaration. Equitable and inclusive quality ECCE services, ECCE personnel, innovation for advancing transformation, politics, governance, and finance. We also kept our previous strategic areas: political advocacy, knowledge management, education, organization, and as a transversal area, communication. In advocacy work, OMEP renewed its efforts to influence public policies, their implementation and resources aimed to protect the right to early childhood education and care. We are pushing some flagship initiatives. The proclamation of a United Nations Decade for Early Childhood Care and Education will be proposed to the UN General Assembly and will offer guidelines and political strategies that governments can use to guarantee that children enjoy their human rights. A new legal framework on the right to education will be able to assess inequalities by promoting a legal framework clearly recognizing early childhood education as a human right and a legally binding obligation for states. Monitoring the right to ECC and SDG 4 is another commitment indicated by the Tashkent Declaration for civil society organizations to support national systems with quality, timely, and reliable reporting on monitoring. In the area of knowledge management, OMEP continues to strengthen its role as a scientific and pedagogical reference specialized in early childhood education and care. The flagship initiative will be strengthened and further developed. IJEC International Journal of Early Childhood, OMEP Theory into Practice, and Young Researchers Award, as well as other research initiatives. In relation with ECC educators, we are working in the development of indicators for the ILO policy guidelines for the promotion of decent work for early childhood education personnel.
Sorry, I can't hear.
In the area of education, OMEP works to develop quality early childhood education. We will continue with our flagship initiatives. In Education for Sustainable Development, a new stage for training will be presented in September, as well as the continuity of the international study with the Education for Sustainable Development Rating Scale, the Resource Bank, and the international awards. We also work in the award for Latin American countries and the UNESCO participation program with 5 countries of the African region. Watch from the Start, Color Your Rights, and Play and Resilience toy libraries will be redefined and extended. OMEP's global and regional conferences will continue, and they are a great opportunity to build together with UNESCO in the realization of the Tashkent commitments. In the organization area, we will strengthen the previous emblematic initiatives, finance restructuring, and the administrative guide. The OMEP New Generation initiative should promote intergenerational dialogue. As a democratic NGO, OMEP needs to consolidate a representative structure within its membership that include young people and students. The Transforming Education Summit and the Tashkent Declaration pointed out the importance of the role of young people as active agents to address a truly transformative, systemic, inclusive, representative, and long-term change. The communication area is a transversal strategy. Communication is a fundamental tool for promoting constructive dialogue among its members and making the organization and its activities known to governments, UN organizations, and to interest groups. The actions are focused on strengthening identity and visibility, strengthening a unique institutional identity, and coordinating the different social networks, development campaigns, and respecting special celebrations, for example, the celebration of the 75 years of OMEP, to publicize the organization, its history, scope, achievements, present, and future. Finally, we need to strengthen a permanent process of monitoring and evaluation. To be a learning and efficient organization, we need to receive constant feedback on the strategies, actions, and their development. We have different monitoring and evaluation instances, and the opinion and experience in implementing the plan of OMEP of the members will be sought. Under these purposes, we developed different spaces for permanent monitoring and evaluation of the plan. EXCO meeting, individual meetings with vice presidents, meeting with the representatives at the UN and UNESCO, global and regional assemblies. In particular, the annual reports are a central tool for monitoring this plan. Through this tool, OMEP collects and systematizes the work carried out worldwide, guided by the areas and initiatives, allow annual monitoring and analysis of the activities carried out, and also the fields or projects to be strengthened. I have quickly offer you an overview of the structure of our new strategic plan for 2023-2025 that I hope will be useful to everyone. We have a lot to do. Thank you for your attention, and let's continue working in solidarity.
Thank you. Well, this is our first presentation about the strategic plan. You have also this video in the shared folder, in the Drive folder, with the other documents to watch it again, and then we will vote at the World Assembly on July 29. The second presentation is for the Communication Report 2022. This presentation is in Spanish, so if you want to listen in English, you have to change to the English channel.
Buenos días, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Gonzalo de la Cuadra y soy el responsable mundial de la comunicación de OMEP. Debido a que contamos con poco tiempo, seré breve en este informe de comunicación que corresponde al año 2022. El 2020 comenzamos con un inédito plan de comunicación, asumiendo el desafío de mejorar nuestra comunicación interna y hacer visible al OMEP en la comunidad mundial. En el 2022 hemos seguido trabajando para que más comités utilicen la marca estandarizada del OMEP, lo cual fue un proyecto que partimos en el 2020. Se comenzó a desarrollar una versión conmemorativa de los 75 años del OMEP. En el 2022 también comenzamos a desarrollar una marca para la década de la atención de la primera infancia. Se siguió ampliando y mejorando la página web, revisando contenidos, textos, datos, creando la sección de donaciones, entre otros muchos ajustes. Se continuó con la convocatoria y publicaciones de artículos para el blog de OMEP, Derechos desde el Principio. Se desarrollaron múltiples campañas de comunicación para redes sociales. Una de las acciones más destacadas fue la difusión de las 74 conferencias y Asamblea Mundial de la OMEP, armando una campaña en redes sociales con docenas de piezas, un par de docenas, dado que era necesario apoyar el regreso a la presencialidad de las conferencias mundiales de la OMEP y visibilizar su dinamismo y su presencia. Generamos también contenidos para celebrar los días internacionales del OMEP, Y en el 2022 también desarrollamos 2 importantes seminarios virtuales internacionales, visibilizando el saber del OMEP en temáticas que afectan a la primera infancia y sus derechos. A continuación, algunos datos de nuestra performance, de nuestro actuar en redes sociales. Los principales países que interactuaron con los contenidos en Facebook fueron los siguientes, que se muestran en el gráfico. Los principales países que interactuaron con nuestros contenidos en Instagram, podemos verlos en el gráfico. Los principales países que interactuaron con nuestros contenidos en YouTube fueron los siguientes, que podemos ver en el gráfico. Algunas métricas del rendimiento en redes sociales. La cantidad de personas alcanzada por nuestros contenidos en el 2022 fue de 348.505 personas. La cantidad de personas que interactuaron con nuestros contenidos el 2022 fueron 14.297. Estas 2 métricas son muy importantes, pero lamentablemente estos números fueron un poco más bajos que el 2021. Las posibles causas son el cambio de algoritmo de Facebook e Instagram en desmedro de los contenidos orgánicos, es decir, sin pauta publicitaria. También la creación de nuevos proyectos que se suman al mantenimiento de una estructura de contenidos y actividades de comunicación que venimos trabajando desde el 2020. Hace que el tiempo se tenga que dividir entre más actividades, generando menos contenidos para redes sociales en desmedro de otras producciones o contenidos que no necesariamente parten en las redes sociales. También desde el 2022 hasta la fecha hemos visto menos participación de los comités nacionales en las redes sociales de OMEP. ¿Y qué podemos hacer para visibilizar aún más la OMEP y construir más influencia política y más referencia académica? Los miembros de comités nacionales del OMEP deben ser conscientes que la comunicación no depende solo de la presidencia mundial y el equipo de comunicación, sino de la acción conjunta de compartir contenidos, las noticias, de poner me gusta, de reenviar los mensajes mundiales, de participar en los webinars. Es una forma de potenciar el mensaje y viralizarlo. La presidencia mundial decidió no seguir enviando el newsletter mensual que habíamos generado con tanto esfuerzo, porque casi ninguna presidenta lo compartía. Aún no contamos con una base de datos mundial porque los comités no comparten con el EXCO los datos de sus miembros, ni nos ayudan a reenviar los mensajes. Si queremos tener presencia y visibilidad, debemos fortalecer la comunicación en primer lugar con nuestra propia comunidad. Vemos como otras organizaciones nuevas se han vuelto conocidas no por su acción, sino por su difusión. Y nosotros desde OMEP tenemos tantas cosas que decir por mostrar de nuestro quehacer que no podemos perder esta oportunidad. Muchas gracias.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this second presentation. And now we will move forward to the presentation of the former World Treasurer, Ellen Erickson Odegaard, about the Balance 2022.
Hello, everyone. It is the OMEP World Treasurer for the year of 2022 speaking. I will now go through the OMEP balance for the year 2022. As you know, OMEP main source is the annual fees. And in the estimate of the budget for the year 2022, we wanted to collect 34,900 US dollar. But however, only 69% of the national committees made the payment. So as you can see here on the screen, we only have 25,321. I want to give a notice that the committees of Japan and Norway have carried out solidarity support. And OMEP Norway paid for the countries of Pakistan, Kenya, and Ukraine in 2022. And we also got funding from Springer, and very happily, as we can remember, we also had the opportunity to go to Athens, many of us, and that also brought income last year. We have also some more solidarity funds as an income. OMEP Japan paid for the victims of the flood. And that when we withdraw the bank taxes, we got $330 for that. So thank you to OMEP Japan for that. I also want to bring to your notice that we also have had an income for specific project, UNESCO participation program, the US dollar of 13,000, but these expenses will come during the year of 2023. I will now present for you the expenses, and I will not go through every detail here, but I will give a notice to a few of them. As you can see, most of these incurred was lower than proposed. So we keep the budget in a very nice way, but we had a hope, and we really tried, to get more solidarity funds and also more sponsorships. We got some, but not at the amount that we proposed for. That leaves us also for the year of 2022 with an unbalanced budget. You can see that the income was 43,341, and the expenses was 63,089 US dollar. So that makes a difference on 19,748. This leaves us again with a negative difference. This has been covered by the OMEP fund, as we have also done the previous 2 years due to the pandemic. But even so, I want to celebrate that despite this situation, we have maintained great communication achievement, such as the digital platforms, webinars, that has allowed a great approach in the 5 regions of the world. And also give notice to the celebration of the face-to-face World Assembly and Conference in Athens that allowed us to be in dialogue and achieve more goals of OMEP. We have been working for donors and fundings, and we need to continue to do that. At last, I will also just remind us all that this is a report of the balance of 2022. And of course, we have been spending money during the spring of 2023, which will be reported in due time in 2023. So for now, I will just say thank you all for listening.
Well, this was the balance 2022, and now we will going to listen and watch a short video recorded by Sun Wan Kim, the World Treasurer, about the budget 2023.
Good afternoon. I'm Sun Han Kim. Good afternoon. I'm Sun Han Kim. It is an honor to be here today as a World Treasures. We recognize the challenge ahead of us, but I'm sure that together we can overcome. Today, I'm here to tell you about our budget proposal for 2023. Since the 2023, when the World Treasury comes to change, I will start my presentations today with let you know about the current balance. The last transfer to my accounts from the previous treasurers was made on the May 17th. The income amount was 26,814.36. I did not reach the paper balance yet because of some issue that we are having. So the presidency and then the previous treasurer will solve the problem and I'll receive it soon. This amount is different from what the reports from the 2022. The bank balance as of December 31, 2002 is 39,223 and 81 cents. And this is the difference of the $12,409.45 from the amount that I received about 5 months later. Please note that the proposal of budget of 2023 that I'm about to present has been prepared by presidency and discussed at the ASCO meeting. Based on the OMEP income in 2022, the proposal for 2023 is as follows. To understand this, I also show the comparison with the actual incurred incomes in 2022. About the annual fee. For the years of 2023, it is essential to collect all the annual fees and request the payments of the fees owed for 2021 and 2022. Given that in 2022, only the 69 of the country paid their annual quota, and to be able to recover the deficit of the 2 previous years. Likewise, the solitary sterility will continue so that the other national committee will resource can be support those committee with the difficulty paying their annual fee. Another thing is Springer copyright. It should be noted that the Springer's payment has been decreased in the recent years. So it is expected that the National Committee to intensify the dissemination of the magazine to positively impact of the sales and popularity of the IJEC. Regional conference. It will be important to guarantee the income from the 4 regional conferences scheduled to base at a minimum over $6,000. Based on the OMEP expenses in 2022, proposal for 2003 is as follows. To understand this, I also show the incurred expense in 2022. The World Presidency customary payment is same. The World Secretary parts. Secretary team, the payment of professional service of the members of the World Secretary is budget for 8,000. This amount has to be adjusted due to the increasing in the workload. Representations. The representative adjustment is presented due to the increase in the works and their assumptions of the face-to-face activity to the representative at the UN and UNESCO for the total of $3,000. And membership, this item is the vital importance of the visuality of the OMEP and the need to be consolidated alliance with other organizations to achieve our goals. So since the fee has been increased, it is supposed to readjust the total of the value of the $4,000. Editing and printing and annual reports and agendas, etc. The internet platform will continue to be used the process of reporting. The amount of $3,000 is maintained. The travel expenses represented will adjust to the virtual Word assembly. Word projects. Yes, the words of $5,000 has been assigned annually, but given the current situations without any donation or specific funds for these payments this year's, there will be an academic recognition, but the subsidy for the trip as a prize will not be implemented. webinar costs, operating costs on adjustment is presented. Due to the virtual world assembly, the OMEP 2023, seminars and the other planned to the activity include the payment of the Zoom platform and the channels for the seminars translation is $3,000. Occasionally project by 2023 we will continue to develop the ECD projects. It should be noted in 2022 the world president managed the donation from the OME Argentina. It is developed in the 2022 balance, and each year the 75th anniversary of the OMEP is added, which will be entirely its own budgets. Bank charge on expense is not estimated for this concept since the data sent by the bank does not allow it, and they are included in the amount of the incurred for the income and expenses. The budget proposal for 2023 shows the signs in previous years, the working under global pandemic condition, which has been affected OMEP economic. Our fund has decreased for the second years, and the Treasury report shows the unbalanced economic situations. In this circumstance, it is essential to prioritize activity to raise the new funds and accompany the ideas of their cause. We have previously invested our digital infrastructures in the media communication to work on the virtual communication strategy. This investment has costed much the prioritize for the 2023 as well for the ASCO to be continued to hard works through the digital medias. So for the 2023, the project expenses has been maintained at a total of $67,800, which represented of last year's the budget that adjusted as much as possible to the real situation of the OMEP and will continue to try to increase the income. Extra thanks goes to the world presidents and the excellent teams who will continue to work intensely, and a warm and social farewell to Ellene's, who recently finished her terms as a world treasurer, and thanks for the hard management and highly committed to the values and the goals of OMED. Another thanks to the National Committee for their efforts to pay their annual fee and deposit to the numerous challenges all the country, with the special recognition of those committee that have faced extremely challenge and others that have students all with the country to pay fee as godparents. Thanks to that. So if you have any questions, idea about the budgets, please feel free to contact the president or the secretary team and me. Thank you.
The last video is about the representative team 2023 and brief remarks of their 2022 annual report. This is Thank you for your attention. I remind you that all these videos, you have all these videos available in the Drive shared folder, together with the other documents that will be revised and reviewed and vote in the World Assembly. Finally, Mercedes will tell us something about the Declaration 2023 in order to debate about this idea.
Well, dear friends, yes, dear friends, this year we do not have any suggestion connected with the main issue, the focus of our World Declaration. Really, I believe that we should advocate and work using the past declaration, but as this is a decision that we can take together in the breakout groups, you can suggest if you believe that it is necessary to develop a new declaration for this year. So the suggestions are open, but if not, if all the people agree that we need to go back and stress our declaration of Athens Declaration, I think that for me is the most logical issue. And even, for example, in the European Assembly, there were no suggestions about opening a new line of a new declaration, a new issue. And luckily, peace is a central issue in this moment. We are in crisis all over the world. We have conflicts and violence that affect directly children. So I think that perhaps we can take again and push them with a global campaign and a strongest campaign, pushing the need of conversations, the need of opening dialogues between countries, and the need of building a culture of peace, as we have said in our declaration the past year. So this is one task to address in the breakout groups this morning, or this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercedes. Well, before we go to the parallel rooms, I will say that 39 countries are accompanying us, and I will read the countries again. These are Hong Kong, China, Sweden, Sierra Leone, New Zealand, United States, Greece, Croatia, Norway, Australia, Russia, Chile, Canada, United Kingdom, Poland, Argentina, Paraguay, Japan, Thailand, France, Poland, Italy, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Ghana, Uruguay, Bosnia and Herzegovina, China, Slovakia, Turkey, Kenya, Peru, Mexico, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Nigeria, Belgium, Korea, Venezuela, and Israel. Thank you all. And now we can move forward to the breakout rooms. Before going to the breakout rooms, I encourage you to write your songs in the chat, as I told you at the beginning of the session. Maybe some of you didn't hear what it's about, so I'm going to repeat. We invite you to do this playful activity. We ask everyone present to write down your favorite song in the chat, songs in different languages. In this way, we will be able to create an OMEP playlist in Spotify. We will be putting together the song, creating the playlist, and then share it with you, as well as enjoy it at the World Assembly on July 29. Now we are going to invite you to join separate separated virtual rooms. These are the breakout rooms. This is a Zoom tool that you probably already know. On your screen, a notice will appear inviting you to join a room and automatically taking you there. You will have now 20 minutes to debate, and then the system automatically returns you to the main room. You can come to the main room whenever you want. The rooms are divided by language, not by region. If someone goes to the wrong room, you can come back to the main room, report it, and we can reassign you. After the discussion, each group will choose a spokesperson or two who may be a member of the EXCO and someone else who want to collaborate to make the sharing. Each group will summarize in 3 or 5 minutes the most relevant points of the discussion. I suggest that the spokesperson can be chosen before the discussion and that notes can be taken during the discussion. So when we come back, we can do this dynamic sharing with all of you. Well, now I invite you to the breakout rooms. If you have some doubt, you can write it in the chat or come again to the main room. We are waiting here. Ay. Clara, puedes reasignar, a veces eso, se cae la conexión, cuando se vuelve a conectar lo puedes reasignar a la sala, no sé si lo ves.
Sí, lo veo. Creo que se acaba de conectar por primera vez porque no lo tenía en el listado de países. Así
bueno.
que ahí me fijo. Creo que es inglés, ¿no?
Sí, sí. Mándalo directo entonces.
Ujú.
Were you done with the discussion or you didn't want to come back? Okay, then we wait for the other rooms. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. I hope you
Yes,
had time.
20.
I hope you had time to exchange. I know the debates were heated in some rooms. So I think now we are all in the main room. Can you listen to the interpretation channels? Are you there? Is everything okay? Okay, thank you. Well, we were 4 groups, 2 groups in English and then 1 in Spanish and 1 in French. So I don't know which group will start. I invite you to share in 5 minutes each group a brief report. I ask you to speak slowly and clearly for the interpreters, please. Which will be the first group to share? Adriana, please.
Yes, we try to manage to find who will be reporter, but since I take the notes, I will try to sum up what we discuss in 20 minutes. We have very fruitful conversation, and thanks to all members of our group, I think that we raised some very important points for the future of not just OMEP declaration, but maybe and for the OMEP future world. And mainly when we discuss about the present and current and future declaration, there was idea that we should stick to like 2 years plan to have enough time to fulfill everything that we obliged ourselves. And there was a very good suggestion that we should evaluate upon each period of time whether we manage to reach what we oblige ourselves or not. And also there was a mention that by the countries, because the declaration is something that should be we should all can use in our countries, but there is a huge differences by the countries, and maybe it is not possible always for the countries to implement the declaration in full. So we should be flexible to adapt to that, and we should be also flexible to adapt to new challenges. For example, we have a COVID and we adapt pretty soon, and so we hope that in future we won't have such occasions anymore, but just in case we should be able to adapt. And then we start to discuss about what the new declaration would have or be attached to, and we have like a really short conversation about the Tashkent Declaration, since the Tashkent Declaration is something that is also obligated for all of us and the countries and the members of OMEP. And somehow what was very visible in our group is that we should be more focused on profession, because of the lack of the professionals or ECC personnel, because of the lower status of the profession in the society. So maybe to support the professionals in order to raise the recognition and professionals with one hand and on the other hand to be more present and discuss about affordability and accessibility to quality early childhood education around the world. So some of the discussions went towards the salaries Since OMEP is advocating, I think that we have a really good platform to start at least to raise awareness of importance of early childhood educators all over the world. And I think that I sum up everything. If I forget something, I invite the group that adds something. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you for this first report. Who wants to be the second one? This was one of the English group. Oh.
I'll go next.
Okay, thank you, Ebony.
Good morning, everyone. We were in consensus as far as supporting the current declaration and keeping it as is, with an emphasis from Turkey on children as global activists, and also just making it a point for us to first accomplish the goals, or at least the ideas of the goals of the first declaration, before we try to make a new declaration for the current year. That was it for us.
Okay, thank you, Ebony. Thank you for the summary. Then the third group, Spanish or French?
I can speak for French-speaking group, but it would be easier in French for me, if it's possible. Alors, le comité, nous étions des représentants du comité français, de l'UNESCO et du Canada, essentiellement du Québec. Et il nous est apparu que ce qui manquait d'abord, c'était d'avoir un réseau francophone qui soit suffisamment étendu. Donc, nous avons pointé l'existence de choses existantes en Afrique, mais qu'il faut continuer à aider pour les consolider, à Haïti. On a quelques éléments aussi, quelques points évidemment en Belgique, mais aussi dans d'autres pays où le français est une langue utilisée, serait toujours une langue officielle, comme l'Algérie. Donc, le premier objectif de notre souhait, ce serait de pouvoir construire une forme de comité francophone qui pourrait développer les actions de l'OMEP à travers des pays qui, pour l'instant, ne sont que faiblement représentés. À cet effet, donc notre première action, ce serait d'étendre le réseau, bien sûr, de le soutenir, de le consolider par les relations que l'on peut avoir les uns et les autres. La deuxième chose que nous souhaiterions faire, c'est évidemment leur proposer un certain nombre d'actions qui pourraient leur être utiles, qu'il faut réactiver, qui existent déjà dans on va dire dans la panoplie de l'OMEP, à savoir par exemple le développement des ludothèques ou des séjours éventuellement de découverte. Mais aussi, on voit qu'on a des besoins de développer un certain nombre de choses spécifiques, notamment pour construire, consolider des relations avec les universités, entre systèmes universitaires, pour faciliter, on va dire, les échanges et puis les actions, les réflexions locales. Également, tout ce qui est alors, on a pointé plusieurs thèmes, notamment comme ce qui se fait actuellement autour de la technologie de l'intelligence artificielle ou du corps, où il y aurait du jeu, il y aurait un certain nombre de choses à faire. Faire un catalogue des ressources francophones existantes pour la petite enfance, notamment autour des droits de l'enfant, du développement durable et puis de la question de la paix, qui sont des trois grands thèmes porteurs pour l'OMEP. Évidemment, il faudrait bien réfléchir à faire des propositions, mais surtout à écouter les besoins de ces pays, savoir quelles sont véritablement leurs attentes et comment on pourrait s'efforcer de mieux y répondre à travers l'action qu'on peut conduire avec eux. Donc, ça s'est résumé par, en définitive, la conclusion de la réunion, ce qui devrait faire un petit document de travail à proposer à tout le monde pour savoir comment on pourrait élaborer un comité francophone.
Thank you, Gilles. And thank you,
Sorry,
everyone.
Camila,
Yes.
It was a problem with the translation, the interpretation. So I will summarize a little, saying that the proposal is to propose a working team that will work especially on the Francophone, with the Francophone countries of the world, thinking in stressing the work in Haiti and extending the work in Africa based on our work connected with play libraries, our work connected with peace, and articulating this work with universities. Yes, this is the summarized. So the group will build a proposition in order to present it to the assembly in order to support this new working team that will held a new project connecting the Francophone area of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you very much. And now it's time to listen to the Spanish group, who will be the spokesperson.
Cynthia Game de Ecuador. Bueno, para aportar más que todo y reforzar lo que está en la declaratoria, el grupo decidió especificar en determinados puntos. Primero, que la declaración debe tener un impulso más activo en su gestión. Tenemos que llegar a más y escuché a nuestra primera exponente de 2 años que se fortalezca y simplemente creo que me parece interesante. Dentro del grupo también discutimos cómo fortalecer la declaración. Creo que hay que ser un poco más específico en determinadas acciones como la desigualdad en el acceso a la educación sin distinción. También que los países realmente asignen el 10% de su presupuesto en educación a la primera infancia. Una de las colegas decía especificar el 10%. El financiamiento de la educación en términos de derecho, no solamente en presupuesto. También es muy importante incluir los mensajes fuerza que tuvo la campaña de descolonización del financiamiento de la primera infancia, conocida como SAME o SAME en español. Hacer énfasis también en la década de la primera infancia. También sería muy interesante reforzar, fortalecer los temas de diversidad y equidad. Ver no solamente al ODS 4, educación de calidad en la declaratoria, sino tener una mirada sistémica, holística, global con los otros ODS. Y también que no sesguemos a la educación de una manera muy generalizada, sino que comencemos desde el inicio, como dice nuestra campaña, el derecho a la educación desde la cuna, como dicen en Chile, es decir, desde el nacimiento. También hay que incluir los temas de formación docente y su profesionalización, que creemos que son básicos para poder alcanzar la calidad de la educación. Esos puntos son los que resumimos en el grupo de Latinoamérica, los hispanohablantes.
Thank you, Cynthia. Gracias. Thank you very much for the collaboration, the discussion. I know the discussion were very rich, and we will review and resume all these issues in the World Assembly. So, well, we reached the end of the session. Before we go to the closing, I encourage you again to write the songs in the chat. I saw that you write several songs for our playlist, for OMEP playlist. We will put the playlist together and share it with all of you. And now it's time to close, so I give the floor again to Mercedes Machulla Sacher, please, and thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you. You know that working and playing are two important tasks inside OMEP. So I invite you again to build all together a playlist for OMEP and to help us in that. I also thank the suggestion connected with the declaration. I think that we need to take these suggestions to think about building a strong declaration each 2 years. I think that it's very realistic, and to monitor the development, the action that we want to stress in that work. It's like a campaign. We need to put it visible, the problem visible, and to develop that. I also agree with something that says Adriana, to take the Tashkent Declaration again and to renew our views about the Tashkent Declaration and take each item. And it was, of course, it was mentioned by Cynthia from Ecuador to take different tasks. Financing, for example, the 10% of the budgets in education are a commitment inside Tashkent. So we need to realize, to help to realize that task, that aim. So and also about early childhood education profession, and we need to develop so much work. So because of that, I remind you the importance of communication and the importance to help each other in developing this work all together. It's not only a problem of the presidency or the ESCO. It is a commitment of all us, all the members. And I thank you all, the national presidents and representatives of OMEP and the United Nations systems and UNESCO, and of course the members of the ESCO that are all the time pushing together with me all this lovely but terrible work, and promoting and accompanying the realization of this extraordinary session. I would like to give a special recognition to the members of the World Secretariat, Camila, Gonzalo, Teo, and today also Clara is helping us, and a special recognition to the translators, Carolina, Carla, Marcos, and Mariana. And I invite you to continue strengthening democracy and OMEP's members' involvement, and I invite you to collaborate in all the projects and social networks. We have a survey that you should answer. A lot of surveys, we have at least 3, but this is important about our project of education for sustainable development. And I invite you to continue with this work. Let us remember that OMEP members must be the first to participate and strengthen and value our communication strategies. So visit the website, write us if it is not updated, subscribe the blog, and send contributions. We need contributions for the blog. Register your access to IJEC and open the access to IJEC to your members, because it is a huge benefit for all our members, and we are growing and growing and growing in IJEC. Sharing Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter campaigns and posts, participating in the work project, paying the annual fee. Please connect with soon. She's beginning an amazing work. Thank you, Sun, for your report. It was amazing, and I hope that we can do together a very good job and attend the regional assemblies and of course the next World Assembly, and sending news to me, to the ESCO, to the World Secretariat. We commit all of you to participate in the World Assembly in July 29 at 9 a.m. at the same hour at that today. And the agenda is shared. The agenda, is shared in our Drive folder. You know that I am very friendly with systems, computers, and internet. So all the information is there in our share folders and our working documents. In these days, we will upload also the annual report. In this moment, the translators are working in the annual report. It is really amazing to read it in deep, and of course to send us our if there are corrections or adjustments, please send us to all your comments. The link to register will be also sent, and remember that the Zoom platform is only for presidents and the representatives, and observers can attend it through our YouTube channel, OMEP World TV. Well, I hope we continue working together and see you on the last days of July, and a big, big hug for each of you, every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a nice day or night or whatever.
Porque nadie me comprende cuando me agarra la chinche. No saben que mis problemas son tan terribles. Me dicen que no exagere creyendo que hago berrinche.
A ver, Loredana, te quiero ver bailar.
Las vacaciones son cortas. No quiero salir de casa con tanta ropa. Tampoco me va el verano porque el calor me sofoca. Las medias me quedan grandes y los zapatos me aprietan.
No te veo.
El buzo me queda corto y hay más problemas. No quiero tomar la leche y tengo mucha tarea. De pronto una musiquita empezó a sonar adentro, de la cabeza a los pies, de los pies a todo el cuerpo. La chincha se fue volando que sí, santo remedio. Santo remedio, se cura cantando. Santo, santo remedio, se cura bailando. Santo, santo remedio, se cura cantando. Santo, santo remedio, se cura bailando.
Y es para tanto. Sí que es para tanto. Y es chinche de verdad. Muy de verdad.
Porque nadie me comprende cuando me agarra la chinche. No saben que mis problemas son tan terribles. Me dicen que no exagere creyendo que hago berrinche. Yo me enojo porque en invierno las vacaciones son cortas. No quiero salir de casa con tanta ropa. Tampoco me va el verano porque el calor me sofoca. Las medias me quedan grandes y los zapatos me aprietan. El buzo me queda corto y hay más problemas. No quiero tomar la leche y tengo mucha tarea. De pronto una musiquita empezó a sonar adentro, de la cabeza a los pies, de los pies a todo el cuerpo. La chincha se fue volando.